And the final asset property I want to talk to you about today is all to do with conditional tagging. Tagging allows you to segment particular pieces of content to particular screens, all from within a single playlist. Let's see this in action. Again, if I go onto this same piece of content here, if I double click on that now and I go over to the conditions tab, this will allow me to set particular players that this content will be active on. And I can do this irrespective of the validity and recurrence. I can have that still there, but the conditions will allow me to choose particular players for this to happen on. So going on the conditions tab here, the first thing we get is a drop down for the asset we'll play on. Now this gives us a few options, but before I do this, what I'm going to do is show you how we can tag a player in Signagelive. So if I go onto my player dashboard here and go down to this screen that I've got behind me, which is this particular player here. And now if I go over to the tags tab here, you can see that I can add tags directly within here. I can do this in a few ways. I can simply enter a tag like so, and then hit save. And that immediately adds the XC5 tag to this particular player. Or what I can do is I can click this little button here. This will show me all the tags that I've got across my network, and I can then choose particular tags to add to my player. So I can do update tags, select boardroom there, go back to this view, and then I can see boardroom and XC5 are the two tags that I've got there. Now that's step one. Tags are a great way of organizing your players, especially if you have these bigger Signagelive networks with a lot of different players. Managing tons and tons of different playlists can be quite time consuming and get quite overwhelming really quickly. So this tagging functionality allows you to create a single playlist and then choose what happens within that playlist on particular players. So you can have particular pieces of content only appear on players that have a particular tag, for example. And going back to this drop-down menu here, the asset will play on what? Now I get to choose what I want it to play on. If I select this drop-down here, I get a few different options. I can select all players, which will mean that this asset will play on all players. If I publish this particular playlist to all of my players, I know for sure that this asset is going to appear on every single player that I publish it to. But what if I publish this playlist to all of my players, but I only want this particular asset to appear on one of them players? That's where this tagging is going to come in handy. I can then choose all tags below. That will mean that any tags that I include here will need to be present on the player in order for this particular asset to display on that player. So in my case, I would need to select XC5, which is one that we added, and I would need boardroom to be there. If I now press OK, this will only display on players with these particular tags, XC5 and boardroom. If it only has one of them tags, it's not going to display. It needs all of those tags in order to be displayed on that particular player. Let's go back into the conditions again and let's try this again. So we can now do this with any tag. So players with any of these two tags, so let's say I had another player that also had the XC5 tag, that would also appear on that player as well, if I'd published this playlist to that player. So in all of these scenarios that I'm talking about here, let's assume that I've published this same playlist to every single player. But what I'm doing is I'm using the conditions to segment which particular assets are going to appear on what player. It's just a way of allowing you to manage all of your content from one playlist as opposed to having lots of different playlists for lots of different players. Again, this is use case dependent. Depending on the way you've got your digital signage set up, you may wish to deliver this content in a different way. Our final two options allow us to do the reverse of what we were just talking about. So I can have players not matching all tags below. So any players that have both of these tags, this content will not appear on that player. And the same goes for this one. If there's any of these tags present on any of my players, those players will completely exclude this asset from being published to that player. And to show you this, if I press OK, if I now hover over that asset, I can now see that this player will not play on any players with these particular tags, XC5 and boardroom. I hope this video helps. If you have any questions about anything we've discussed today, please do get in touch and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Otherwise, check out our help center. I'll put a link on screen now and that will give you more information about all of these advanced scheduling methods. Thanks for watching. Until next time.